These are the questions that every single wife wants to know. To submit is an act of wisdom. Do you trust the Most High to lead your husband? The husband who hasn't got it together yet. What are his preferences? And does he like his food touching? You're not his mama, you're not his creator, you're not his God, okay? So you can't change a man. Pay attention to the small detail things. Shalom family, it's your girl Kapat. Back in the cut. Yeah, it's been a long time, girl. So long time no talk. I do just want to catch y'all up and say that the Most High renamed me. So I'm no longer Savannah, my old name that is attached to the old flesh, the old woman. My new name is Kapatsyaba, and it is a Hebrew name that means Yah delights in her, or the voice that Yah delights in. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Maybe I'll do like a actual video on it, but that's just a bomb. I didn't want to just move past the whole name change. So hello, hi girl. If you're new here, it's Kapats. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. I am going to be answering the top questions on submission. Okay, these are the real deal questions. These are the nitty-gritty questions that people are just afraid to answer for some reason, girl. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you are a wife, if you're looking to be a wife, if you're engaged, girl, this video is for you because we gotta talk. Excuse the computer, but we've gotta talk, girl. The Most High requires us to submit to our husbands, okay? So question number one, what is true biblical submission? Okay, so let's talk about what biblical submission is not, for starters, okay? Submission does not mean control. Submission does not mean less valuable. Submission does not mean less of a vessel for the Most High to use. Okay, let's get that clear. Submission in Hebrew is kana, and it means to work or bend the seed under clear sight or understanding. So willing alignment under rightful authority. It's voluntary humility and servanthood under authority. It's not having no voice. It's not being able to speak. It's not being able to share your opinion. It's not none of those things that the world tries to make it and paint it, girl. No. Biblical submission is beautiful. It's understanding your role and your authority. Therefore, submitting to another role and authority because you understand that that's how things go, because that's how things work. That is how things were created to move smoothly, to flow. So when you tap into that flow, oh baby, you're powerful. You're powerful, girl. You're powerful. So that's what submission is, okay? Question number two, how do I submit to an unrighteous husband who doesn't follow the Messiah? Ooh, the tea for real. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I wrote down because we're gonna keep it plain and simple, baby. Know your role. Know his role. Respect his role. And know the Most High's role. Let's elaborate, girl. When you know your role, you know that you're supposed to submit. You're the helper of your husband. And you are a daughter of the Most High. So that's your role. That's step number one. You have to know your role in order to submit to an unrighteous husband. Know his role, okay? You have to know his role and respect his role. These two go hand in hand. To know his role is to know that he is the provider, to know that he is the leader, the protector. He is also a son of the Most High. He is the leader of your family, the marriage, the dynamic. So when you know his role, you must also respect his role. And in respecting his role, you allow him to play his role. Allow him to lead. Allow him to protect you. Allow him to provide for you. Allow him to make the decisions for your family. Allow him to play his role. So once you know your role and you know your husband's role and you respect your husband's role, the last step is to know the Most High's role. What do I mean by that? You have to know that it's not your job, to change your husband. You have to know that it's the Most High's role to change your husband, to do something about his son, okay? You're not his mama, you're not his creator, you're not his God, okay? So you can't change a man. What you can do is influence a man, however. So when you know your role and you play your role, when you know his role and you respect his role and you allow him the space to play his role, and you know the Most High's role, sit back and let it happen, girl, okay? You sit back, you play your role, you allow him the space to play his role, and you let the Most High intervene and change his son, okay? That's what you do. That's how you submit. Because really what it is you're now submitting to the Most High. And because you're submitting to the Most High, you're submitting to the husband who hasn't got it together yet, okay? But in doing so, the Most High, our scripture tells us that your role and your influence as a wife will change your husband's actions when he sees your demeanor and your gentleness and your kindness and your willingness to submit to the Most High and do right by our scripture. Then he will see that and he will change. So it's not your role to change an unrighteous husband. It's the Most High's role. Therefore, you just submit and play your role and allow him to play his while the Most High plays his. Goodness. I hope that makes sense, girl. All right. Question number 3. Does submission mean I have no voice or opinion? We're going to keep this question simple. The answer is no. Submission does not mean that you don't have an opinion or a voice in your relationship. You have a voice. You have a strong voice at that. And a righteous husband knows that his wife has a voice and an opinion. A righteous man will value the opinion of a submissive wife. So play your role, and in doing so, your husband will want your opinion. He'll want your advice. He'll seek your counsel for the things. But don't just willy-nilly be out here thinking you know better and you know all and what you say goes, okay? Because that's not cute. That's not what submission is either. So yes, you do have a voice. Just know when to use your voice and how to use it, okay? If you're mid-argument and you're like, well, I have a right to say what I want to say and I want to say what I want to say and I need to get it off now, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Value yourself and value your words enough to hold your words for when they're heard, when they can be heard, okay? Don't be in the middle of an argument and think that you're gonna usurp your voice or your own opinion over your husband's. Make suggestions. Gently, be like, hey, husband, what about this? Or, I think this would be a good idea. Or, what I'm saying? Don't just roll with what you think is the best way. All right. Question number 4. How do I learn how to be happy submitting and not just forcing myself to submit? Okay, girl, good question. Well, for one, I feel like we have to address that you not being happy to submit is a unhealed issue. I believe that when you know your role, you will be happy to submit. So you not being happy submitting lets me know that there's something there that is unhealed in you, something that you need to take to the Most High to heal, so that you can be happy submitting, because submission isn't a drab thing. It's not something to be upset about or mad about. It's great. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's allowing the Most High to lead your husband to lead you. So it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's a trust fall in a way. Do you trust the Most High to lead your husband? Then trust your husband to lead you. It's that simple. You should be happy to get that leadership from your husband. You know what I'm saying? You should want him to play that role. That's where he thrives at, and that's where you thrive at. When he is playing his role, it allows your role to thrive and shine even brighter. So, heal. Take that to the Most High. Why am I not happy submitting? Take that to the Most High, and he'll give you an answer. The greatest among you is a servant. Matthew 23, verse 11. If you are doing your best to be a servant to your husband, then the Most High will reward you for that, because that's his son. He sees your efforts. He sees that you are serving his son, and that you're doing right by his son. So he'll reward you for that. So that's something to be happy about. Your reward is in heaven. The Most High, in our scriptures, he says over and over again that he's bringing his reward with him for the good deeds that we've done down here. Do your best to be a great servant to your husband, and know that, and in doing so, that you are serving the Most High, and that your reward is in heaven. Also, if you'd like to know more about being a servant to your husband, I do have a book called The Greatest Among You. And it's about biblical submission, womanhood, wifehood, all the things. So if you're interested in learning more on submission, go check that book out. It is in the link in my bio. Okay, question number 5. Can a wife still be strong and wise while being submissive? Yes, of course, girl. The daughters of Zion are unstoppable when we know when and how to use our voice. So that is our wisdom. That is our strength. It encompasses itself. To submit shows strength, so they go hand in hand. To submit is an act of strength. To submit is an act of wisdom. It shows that you're wise. It shows that you're strong. So yeah. Okay, question number 6. What are some practical ways to show submission toward my husband? This is a great one. I even asked my husband for what he felt like are ways that I show him that I submit to him. So I'm going to give y'all the tea, girl. Get your list ready. Okay, so for one, I wrote being slow to speak. Being slow to speak is one way that you can show your husband that you submit to him. It shows that you are taking the time to understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. By showing him that you value his words and being slow to speak, it shows him that you're more willing to listen to his words. Another way is listening quickly and attentively. So being slow to speak and being quick to listen go hand in hand. When a man finishes speaking, don't be so quick to talk. Don't be so quick to respond. When a man finishes speaking, pause and think on your words before you let them come out of your mouth, because it shows wisdom. And being slow to speak and quick to listen shows your husband that you, again, value his words enough to listen. Therefore, you're more willing to submit to what it is that he's saying. So yeah, listen quickly, okay? Do what he loves. Do what he likes. Look at your husband as a king, because he is. He's a son of the Most High. What is it that this king likes? What does he like to do in his free time? What are his preferences? You know what I'm saying? Does he like his food touching? Does he not like his food touching? Pay attention to the small detail things that he likes. How does he like his clothes hung up? How does he like them folded? If he expresses to you, I don't like when you do it this way, do it differently. Do it the way that he likes. You know what I'm saying? It just shows him that you care about him. You do care about the little things. And in doing so, it shows that you submit to the things that he tells you. You enjoy the in detail things that make him him. And you want to cater to those things. So doing what he likes shows that it's just a way of submitting to him. I see that you like these things, King. And instead of fighting you on them and wanting to do them a certain way or my way, I'll do them this way, because that's what he likes. And that's what submission is. So, and then simultaneously that goes hand in hand with not doing what he doesn't like. If he expresses to you that he doesn't like that you do something, don't do it again, okay? Submit, listen to him. Catering to his plans and changing your own. You should be looking to move your plans around his. And the world will have you think that that's just so backwards and la-da-da, whatever. Like, oh, a man should do for you, yes, but like you should also do for your man. Okay? If a king is looking to run his kingdom efficiently and you're the queen in his kingdom, then you should be looking to adhere to what it is that the king needs to set out for the kingdom, because you understand that it's for the betterment of you, of the queen and the kingdom, okay? So, catering to his plans. If you need to change your plans in the day to make sure that his plans go accordingly, then do so. Don't be argumentative. That's simple. That's plain. Don't be argumentative. If it comes down to you have an opinion or something that you want to say, choose when to say it. If you're mid-argument, kill the argument. Submit. Respect his order. He leads. Let him lead. Now, after the heated debate or conversation is over and you still feel like there's something that needed to be brought to the forefront for the betterment of the relationship, then simmer down, let him simmer down, get your thoughts together, talk to the Most High, and then you can say, I believe that this will help me in moments like that, if so forth and so on. And even then, you're making suggestions. You don't command him, okay? You don't command a king. You can make a suggestion to a king. You can say, I believe that this would help, or could you help me by doing so and so and so and so. The last thing I wrote down was to know your position. And that goes back to question 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, and we went over that. Know your position. Your position is to be a helper. Help your husband. Don't hinder your husband. Be a helper to him. What is it that he wants to get done today? Help him. How can you help him get that thing done today? Because that thing is what's going to move your family. Okay? That thing is what's going to move your family. So life isn't about you, girl. Okay? Question number 7, how to handle when my husband makes a decision I disagree with. This is a good one. Ultimately, you're going to lean with him. Ultimately, you're going to take his side. If it's an idea that he brings to the forefront that he believes will better your family, then ultimately lean with him. Now, when asked for your opinion, absolutely feel free to give him your truth and your honest advice. Look, I think that it's a great idea, but right now I see that this could be a problem. Or I love that idea. Something that presents itself as an obstacle to me would be so forth and so on. How do you advise we go about that? Okay? So, let him make the decision, even if you do disagree. Plant a bug in his ear or plant a seed with him. He may go back behind closed doors later and think on, and then bring to you and be like, hey, well, I'm appreciative that you brought that up to me because that's something that I wasn't thinking about. That was a blind spot that I had, and you, as a helper, you helped me see that blind spot. So that's what, we are to do. We're to help him. So plant a bug or a seed with him and let him decide whether or not to water that seed or completely throw it out. And if he does completely throw out that seed, then trust that the Most High will be vigilant with his son in positioning him where he needs to be positioned, okay? So I did write, let him decide whether or not to water the seed or completely throw it out, but trust that the Most High gave him insight to make the decision he made, and trust his decision. Don't question or disagree openly. It can seem rebellious, even if the intent is to help the team. Bring suggestions, not demands, from thinking you know better. We can even think ourselves into thinking we know best. As women, we have a habit of doing that, okay? So our last question number 8 is, does submission mean I can't correct or advise my husband? Okay, so I'm sure that you've gotten some insight off of the other answers that I've given, but to keep it short and sweet, no. We make righteous suggestions as wives, as biblical wives. We make righteous suggestions, okay? So yes, we can absolutely advise our husbands. I don't like the word correct I don't like that word because it's not our job to correct our husbands. It's the Most High's job to correct them. However, we can plant seeds of better comprehension. There we go. If the scripture says one thing, and we understand our husband to be doing the opposite of what scripture says, we can lovingly suggest, hey, King, I value you enough to say that this is something that I can see other people would hinder you for. Okay? So don't come at him with an attitude of, no, this is wrong and I know best, or I know better and you're doing it wrong. We need to do it this way. No, don't come at him like that. It should be, hey, King, I see that you're looking to lead our family correctly, and here's something that I want to bring to your attention for the betterment of our family. You know what I'm saying? You're making suggestions, okay? You're not commanding or correcting, okay? So yes, advise the husband. That's what you're there for. You're his helper. There's blind spots that men have. There's blind spots that everybody has, okay? So as our husband's helper, we should be looking out for him in that way, okay? Showing you're okay with his decision out of trust allows room for wise counsel from the wife. So making a better team, warning in error versus wanting your way. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, girls. I believe we covered some hard-hitting topics on submission today. So, yeah, girl, take that in and don't just listen to things that I say. Actually implement them and apply them in your own relationship and watch your relationship and your marriage flourish, okay? So if you enjoyed today's video, please leave me a like and a comment and make sure that you are subscribed. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.